Hey YouTube, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. Of course, Fair RC does not rip you off. That's why I bought from them. Everything fine, everything perfect. Top shop, top customer service. Others want to rip you off here in my country. I know many people will hate me for this video, mainly in Germany and Austria. I'm from Austria. That's where we all talk like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Unfortunately, YouTube seems to have disabled the thumbs down function. At least I do not see any thumbs down anymore. Would love to see the thumbs down for this video compared to the thumbs up. Some days ago, I received my overseas shipment from Fair RC. Spare parts for the FCX24, front and rear axles and central transmission with 2-speed and motor. So I did not support my local hobby shops. And relating to FMS and Rock Hobby and maybe even EasyRC products, I probably never will support my local hobby shops. Yes, I am a bad guy, but in this case, I think the distributor from my area, the company is named D-Power, they distribute the FMS trucks in Germany and Austria and some other countries. They are the bad or crazy ones. They want to rip off customers here in Germany and Austria, asking extortionate prices. Don't get me wrong, I highly support the support your local shops thing. I buy a ton of stuff here at hobby shops in my country. I spend thousands of euros at my heli shop here in Vienna, Modellhubschrauber.at, modell-hubschrauber.at. Highly recommended, top shop. I bought all my 6 or 7 FCX24s here at DMT, my Tamiyas, Reelies, all my planes, helicopters, Spectrum radios, my camera drones, and so on. I spent a fortune here at DMT, Lindinger, Schweighofer, Kai Hobby, Grimm, and how they are named here. We have a lot of really good hobby shops. But I did not spend €1 here in European Union shops for FMS products so far, or for HG military trucks, which are sold locally here as Amevi. Why? Because I'm not crazy. I do not have too much money, and I do not want to support this rip-off. I know I live in a very expensive country. Taxes are high, labor is super expensive, and products are expensive. Even more expensive than in Germany because Austria has 20% VAT, Germany only 19% value-added tax. So to have to pay a bit more is okay for us. But there are limits, and what we have here highly exceeds those limits. It is rip-off. It is price usury. Why I'm so angry? Check this out. The FCX24 front axle from Fair RC. $12.99. Actually, end of August 2022, $1 is about €1. Even less if you take account of the super bad, horrible conversion rate of PayPal from US dollar to euro. If we have to pay in US dollar, that's also a rip-off. So let's simply talk about bucks. Dollar and euro are about the same now. $12.99 at Fair RC. And now check our local price made by the distributor, D-Power. $35.90. $35.90. Are they crazy? This story started about 2 years ago when FMS released the Atlas 6x6, the Rock Hobby Katana, and the 1.6 Willys Jeep. Those trucks were and are mega popular here in Austria and Germany. Mainly the 1.6 Willys Jeep, super popular. I guess only members from the German Rockroller Forum have bought hundreds of those. Nearly everyone has at least one. Many have 2 or even 3. But most people bought those trucks from China, mainly from Banggood, but also from AliExpress and several further shops. And after some time, even from Banggood European Union warehouses, duty-free. Price was about $260 for the Willys and $110 to $120 for the Atlas. But on promotion and with coupons even cheaper, sometimes less than 200 for the Willys and less than 90 for the Atlas. The prices at local hobby shops made and delivered by D-Power are $400 for the 1.6 Willys and $230 for the Atlas. Probably nearly nobody bought them there. People aren't crazy. And then you won't believe this. Banggood was forbidden by FMS to sell those models, Willis, Atlas, and Katana, to customers from Germany and Austria. Yes, you hear right. Starting in November 2020, Banggood did not sell those models to us anymore. We got an error message, something of political reason. So unbelievable. In other European Union countries, which are not the area of D-Power, you could still buy the Willy and the Atlas from Banggood, but in Austria and Germany not, and maybe in some other countries which are D-Power area, I don't know where they are general importer. In Germany and in Austria for sure. Unbelievable. But I assume people did still not buy those models at local shops for the super expensive prices. Later, D-Power seemed to have learned out of this. In the further models of FMS, and there are a lot, and mainly in the newest ones, the price differences between China and US price and our price here in local hobby shops made by D-Power was much, much smaller. Chevy, Hilux, Mogrich, and more. ECRC models were always super cheap, also here in local shops, about the same price as in China or US, so they can make good prices if they want. And now for the super cool new FMS FCX24, $159 here. This is a really good price. 149 in the US, 159 here. Nobody will ever complain about this price. Even 169 would be okay, maybe even 179. But no, it's even 159. Super good for our local shops. $159 is about the same relation as for the XL SCX24s. SCX24s are between 130 and 160 euros here, only a bit more expensive than in the US. Other non-Horizon hobby brands such as the 4-wheel drive or Red Cat are much more expensive here than in the US. Check the price of this little guy here in our local shops. It's absolutely crazy. So one would think D-Power seems to have learned. You will think this until you take a look at the spare part prices. I saw the awesome spare part prices of the Portal axles and this two-speed gearbox in the US, and then $35.90, $35.90, $35.90. $12.99 versus $35.90. $12.99 versus $35.90 and $14.99 versus $35.90. So $40.97 versus $107.70 for all. I have to pay $10 shipping from FairRC, what is super cheap. If I would buy from Germany, I would have to pay between 10 and $20 for shipping to Austria. In Austria, 107.70 would be over the free shipping limit of most hobby shops probably. So I paid $50.97 US dollars to FairRC with PayPal 52 because of the horrible PayPal conversion rate. And we have to pay what? Value-added tax and customs for goods ordered from outside European Union. Meanwhile, for all goods, there is no limit for tax-free income anymore. So even if they are super cheap, we have to pay VAT, customs if higher than 150 euros, and a handling fee for customs clearance, which makes it really uneconomic to buy super cheap things. But big dealers such as AliExpress and Banggood include VAT now for European Union customers and will declare and pay the VAT in accordance with relevant policies and requirements. So this is super cool, super good for us customers here in European Union now. No customs problems anymore, no customs clearance, much faster, and everything legal. But most shops do not do this. And the customer still has to make customs declaration and pay VAT plus fees here. So I knew I had to pay value-added tax and handling fee for the shipment from FairRC. Here, that's the sign that it was at customs clearance. And I did. After customs declaration, the shipment was sent to my post office and I had to pick it up there and pay €8 and something. So I had to pay $8 extra, $8 and a little bit more. So I paid for the shipment $60. All in all, 61, 60. Totally legal shipping and customs clearance made. $60, €60, legal. If I would buy the axles and the gearbox here, I would have to pay €107.70 plus maybe shipment from Germany, minimum $10. So including all fees and shipping, the same goods from overseas are still only about half of the local price. This is crazy, really, really crazy. Even if I would buy only one single axle and pay $10 shipping costs and customs clearance and fees here, this single axle from overseas would still be cheaper than if I would buy it here locally with free shipping or pick up from the shop. It's crazy. I call this rip-off. There must be some miscalculations. Someone, that's quite funny, wanted to buy the FCX24 hard plastic body for his Atlas 6x6. Unfortunately, the parts are not cheap even from FCX or FMS. But here, check this out what you need. Body $17.90, windows $14.90, window frame $11.90, grill $10.90, side steps $10.90, snorkel $10.90. Yes, you see right, $10.90 for this. This is unbelievable. Light lenses $10.90. It's hard to believe. It's not to believe. That's crazy. $10.90 for those two tiny lenses. And wipers $9.90. That's a sum of $98.20 for all body parts, even not including bumper. About €100 for the body. The whole truck is €159 only. This is so crazy. The body of the FCX24 is already rather expensive, also in the US, but here it's really crazy. I don't see why it's that expensive there also, because, for example, I paid far less for the Mini C 4x4 body kits. Why FMS is so expensive here, probably nobody knows. But this story is crazy, isn't it? Those prices are crazy, they are rip-off. And there is a further problem. The FCX24 is now, end of August 2022, available for more than 2 months. But it is still not available here in Europe. And why that? If there's a new XL product or similar stuff, it's available here a few days later after the US normally. Sometimes, as in a small E-Flight UMX plane a few years ago, it's even available earlier here in Europe than in the US. Why the FCX24 still is not available in shops here, I don't know. And also Banggood did have a very limited stock only. I'm one of the very few ones here who does already have an FCX24. It is also not available on Amazon here, only from some strange shops or strange dealers for very high prices. And buying from US Amazon is very expensive for us because of shipping and customs. German Amazon doesn't have a lot of RC stuff. There's a good Injora shop now, that's cool, on our Amazon, but not much more. It's totally in contrary to the US Amazon.com. Anyway, those prices and this pricing by T-Powers are crazy. This is rip-off. And they want us to think we are bad and guilty if we do not buy from local hobby shops, and guilty for the decline of the number of small hobby shops. No, we are not crazy, and the hobby shops do not make the prices. This pricing is made by the general importer, the distributor, T-Power. So T-Power is guilty for people in Austria and Germany not buying FMS trucks and spares in local hobby shops, at least those products which ask crazy prices, 2 to 3 times as high as in the US. I know we are not the only ones. I was some time in Australia, also heli flying there. Prices are super expensive. And I spend a lot of time in Brazil, and prices for RC products are super crazy expensive there. And Norway, New Zealand, Canada, and probably many more countries, they also have to pay super premium prices. However, I will continue buying this stuff from overseas, and all the products offered here for reasonable prices I will buy here in my local hobby shops. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope to see you in the next video. I'll be back.